been caught about 50 times.
Hey everyone, welcome back for another episode of Whiteboard Muskies from Biological Angler Productions. If you watched Volume 13, you'll notice this is the exact same drawing from Volume 13. This is an example of a fish we caught on the same piece of structure. I mentioned in that one there was multiple fish on this structure, and the two things I want you to remember in this video is, one, expand your search area. In the spring and the fall, muskies move around a lot, and so they're not as homebodies as they are in the summertime. But you can encounter more fish by expanding your search area. If you find or catch a fish in a particular area, go a little bit further down the shoreline either direction, and hopefully pay attention to what's there. Maybe you find a new spot, maybe you catch another fish. That's exactly what happened here. Typically we capture the fish on a couple trees along the shoreline. My brother caught that 46 in Volume 13 off the shallow area labeled as D. And in this particular instance, I showed the spot as a green circle down here, but we actually went about 50 yards down the shoreline further to the right and encountered this fish by expanding our search area. The area had a bunch of fish in it, had a bunch of bait, and we just kept going down the shoreline and encountering more fish. And in fact, the last night of the trip we caught another fish even further down the shoreline because we expanded from the last spot we caught a fish. The other thing I want to talk about is the Fuzzy Does It, which is the jig that we use almost all the time. It's great because they're relatively inexpensive, so if you lose one, it's not that big a deal. They hook fish really well, and they're easy to fish. So they're real heavy, they fall to the bottom real quick. It's really easy to use. The thing you need to do though is change out the factory hooks on that thing to a short shank, wide gap hook. The ones I really like are the Owner 3/0 wide gap short shank hook. They're razor sharp out of the package. The short shank allows them to not foul when you're jigging the bait. With a longer shank hook you would foul. The other thing with a Fuzzy Does It, connect your leader right to the bait. Don't use a split ring in between. Unless that's how you connect your leader to your bait, then just use one split ring connected directly to your leader. This is a fish that my father ends up catching after it interacted with my brother's Phantom. And we have a little back and forth that's kind of interesting to listen to. But there was some debate over whether or not there was a fish behind his bait because he had a piece of vegetation stuck to it. And sure enough, there was a fish there. And after a quick 360 maneuver, my father encounters this fish and catches it on a jig. Really nice quality fish from Lake of the Woods. Hope you like it. Have a good day.
Fish, Eric. No, it's a fish. There's a fish behind it. I guarantee it. I guarantee you there's a fish back there. I also see weeds, but there still was a fish. Right? Oh, yeah. Caesar's dead. Caesar fuzz. Oh, sound by your fuzz right now. Hit.
Ned, back up over the top of him with your rod.
Yep. Told you it was a fish.
Yeah. Perfect. Nice job, Pa.
Down with the head. Pooping all over my camera. Only looking back ahead. This one's been caught about 50 times.